This channel and this video are made by an adult. While the subject matter can be based on child-friendly material, the narrative and video production is directed towards adults. Occasional slang words or swear words may be present, and the narrative directed at adult themes. If you are under 13 years of age, you should not watch this video. Hello, I'm RetroJules. Are you bored of the game you're playing? There are videos out there telling people what to do in the game that you play, the things that you should do, you could do, just to give yourself a bit of variety. And I honestly think that the best way to get variety is to play a completely different game and perhaps give that frustrating, irritating, massive multiplayer online game that you play a break and try something different. Project Cars 2 is this month's free Xbox One game. I have a Thrustmaster setup. This is my lounge. Bowers & Wilkins floor standing speakers, a 50-inch Samsung 3D TV, which actually is a bit too small for this sort of thing. Who would ever thought a 50-inch TV would be too small? And this is my steering wheel stand, and I put a nice big comfy armchair in front, and away I go. But as you know, if you follow my channel, driving is probably not one of my strong points. In fact, I bought this Thrustmaster setup to play Mud Runner, and I loved Mud Runner with it. Didn't fully support the steering wheel setup because you didn't get force feedback, but you could use the gear stick and you could use the steering wheel, and it did self-center. Anyway, Project Cars 2, I thought I would have a go, and this was my first attempt at playing the game. So let's see what happens. I think I'll have to, I'm not going to go career, just set up a custom race. We'll select a vehicle, and all the vehicles are available. So you don't have to unlock them like Forza and buy them, they're all there, ready to go. What do I choose? I don't think I should choose anything high performance. I kind of want something like a touring car, actually. When I was playing... So I've only ever played one other racing game really with the steering wheel setup, which was the other free game, which was Forza Motorsport 5, which I found tricky, but I did get the hang of it, and I sort of favoured like a BMW touring car. Well, could go classic, but no, I don't know if this is quite a powerful car. Something you don't know about me, I'm not really into driving, I'm not really into cars. I know more about World War II tanks than I do cars, and what I know about World War II tanks isn't a great deal. But Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch was the course that I would play on Motorsport 5, because it was I could remember it, I could memorise it a little bit, so I'm kind of familiar with that. Now, I do believe in this game that there are so many things that you can tweak and play with. Settings on the cars, and not only the cars, but the settings on your steering wheel. I'm not going to do any of that. I don't think I'm going to play 10 laps. I think 3 would just be plenty. Thank you very much, just to get the hang of it. Weather. Oh my lord, look at the weather choice. Wow. Just sunny, cloudy. Yeah, I don't want any sun glaring in me face on the corners, thank you. Let's just go for a sort of a British summer, which is cloudy, really, but not too much cloud. Light cloud, there we go. That's about as good as British summers get. I think we're good to go. Now, I don't know. Hasn't given me the choice of manual or automatic. I am nowhere near ready to play these sort of games with the joystick, with the gear stick, or even the paddles on the steering wheel. I need to be automatic. I have no idea. I guess we'll find out on the start line. So, bit of a load in.
It's race time. As you look around the pre-race menu, you'll see a list of all the participants. You'll also be able to view a detailed map of the track by selecting...
Tuning setup, pit strategy. Pit strategy would be stay on the tarmac. Right, here we go. Automatic or manual? Right, here we go. Oh, God, it's manual. Right, first gear. Come on. Oh, I like the way the car lifts as you go. Oh, this isn't going to work. Yeah, okay. It's nice using the gear stick, but I'm not going to be able to play this and steer and change gears and do all the... Oh, that was always going to happen on the first corner, wasn't it? No, hang on a minute. Yeah, they're not going to play this in manual mode. Must admit, though, it did feel good changing the gears with the gear stick for this. Right, so we've got to quit the session. And we'll go back. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll fast forward this bit and come back to you. Right, we're good to go. Automatic on. Now all I've got to do is concentrate on steering, accelerating, decelerating, and trying to follow some sort of race line. And there doesn't seem to be a race line either. Whether that's a default, I don't know. But here we go. So I'm probably playing this the hardest way I know how, which is with the steering wheel and pedals and in cockpit view. Great start. Right, oh come on. Right, let's see if we can keep it on the tarmac. The only saving grace is that Brands Hatch, apart from a few nasty bends, is relatively straightforward. There's some nice straights. So far, 2 corners out of 2 I've gone straight off. Third corner, just about. The trouble is, because I'm now so far behind, I can't really use the cars in front of me as a gauge as to when to brake. And oh, I thought that, yeah, that's a bit misleading. I know it was coned off, but I thought the road went the other way. The steering wheel is amazing. The force I'm getting through, I'm really quite fighting the steering wheel, which is brilliant, and it is vibrating and all sorts, and there's some great sounds, engine poppings and rattlings. Oh, smooth. Oh, nearly. Trouble is, this is potentially 3 laps without seeing another car now, which is a bit of a shame. But like I said, this is my first attempt at Project Cars 2, literally straight out the box, and it would seem that cornering may be something I need to work on. It sounds really, really good. The trouble is, I do struggle watching the road and keeping an eye on the little mini-map up in the top right-hand corner. Nicely done. See, I was ready for that. And what I've got to get used to is the sensation of speed. I've got to keep an eye on my speedometer, because as you go into some of the bends, you don't think you're going as fast as you do, and you're and you're thinking to yourself, well, hang on, how come I didn't make that corner? And you realise you probably went into it at about 100 miles an hour. Right. I like the detail on the tracks. I like all the skid marks. Right. I know this is a sharp one. Okay, a little bit better. A little bit of an improvement, I suppose. Come on, back on the tarmac. All you got to do, Retro, is just keep the car on the tarmac. Don't worry about the cars in front of you, wherever they are. I did that last time. The cones mean you don't go through that bit. Where's reverse? How do I reverse? How do I... I'm double tapping the brake. No. Okay, I'm not quite sure how you get reverse in automatic. There will be a reverse, I just don't know where it is. I will have to have a look at the instructions. So what lap are we on? So, are we on lap 2 or 3, or have I done 2 or 3? Current lap. I'm on 2 or 3, that's right. It has to be said, you do feel like you are driving. When I first started playing Mud Runner, I played that with a controller, like most people do. And I bought this steering wheel setup to play Mud Runner, and it was brilliant. Doing 3-point turns, changing gear constantly, and you felt like you were actually driving the vehicles. And then for whatever reason I went back to playing it with, I've been lapped, haven't I? Well, let's just pretend I haven't been lapped. I'm back in the race. I've got some cars to follow. And I went back to playing Mud Runner with a controller, and it was awful. Once you got used to playing it with the steering wheel, pedals and gear stick, it felt like you were driving, and going back to a controller, it just didn't seem to relate to the game. So I'm playing this with the steering wheel, and well, that was 3 laps, and it was pretty diabolical. I got lapped. Okay. I enjoyed that though. Anyway, about 3 games later, I wasn't getting the hang of it, so I decided to roll out a BMW, just like a normal, is that what you call a touring car? Like a normal road car. It's got no spoilers or anything on it. And it was a BMW that I drove playing Forza Motorsport 5, so I thought, well, maybe if I just sort of try and get back to that feel, without a shadow of a doubt, this game is harder than Forza Motorsport 5, because I got the relative hang of that quite quickly. This is quite unforgiving, and already it's an improvement on the last game, because I've still got cars in front of me and I haven't spun off every corner. Long may that last. With this car, a lot more vibration on the wheel, especially over 90 miles an hour. Over 90 miles an hour, the steering wheel is really vibrating, like the car is going too fast. Some really nice feedback on the steering wheel. But it is really immersive. It really feels like I'm driving on this track. I'm going to enjoy this, if I can stay on the track. And this is a hell of a lot better than those last 3 laps. I am obviously not driving quick enough, which is probably why it's better. I'm driving Miss Daisy, really. But I've got to get the hang of it. The trouble is, if I go any faster, I am not going to make the corners. I know I'm not. I do like the fact that there isn't a race line to follow. It feels like proper driving. Well, there's still cars just ahead of me. Just don't. Easy. I'm probably driving a little bit too carefully, but I think this is going to take a few hours to get the hang of. And the thing is, I think it's going to take a few hours to get the hang of with this track and this car. And then there'll be another car and it'll feel completely different. Okay, missed that. And if you, yeah, easy. If you boot the throttle, the back end comes right out. So this is obviously a rear wheel drive car. Well, I guess it's obvious. Like I say, I'm not really a car person, but if you boot it, the back swings out. Oh, Yeah, just about held it. And imagine playing this in the rain. We've got puddles on the road and all sorts. The tracks apparently in career mode have a real weather system, so you can start a track in the sun and you'll end up finishing it in the rain. And I quite like the idea of that dynamic weather system. I know it's going to make things really difficult. This game is going to be a wonderful distraction and something new, and I'll tell you for nothing, with a steering wheel and pedals, it feels like a driving game. Oh, just hung on to that. I did find out later that reverse, you have to press and hold the brake and then you go into reverse. There's a couple of second delay, so there is reverse because I needed it quite a lot. Oh, see, that's what happens when you boot it, the back swings. Well, it seems I'm driving all on my own again, and we're about to go into our last lap. There is no sign. Oh, there they are on the mini-map. Oh, good lord, they're a good half a lap ahead of me. Well, as long as I can keep... Yes, made it. Come on, Retro, you can make every bend. It's the last lap, come on. Yep, you know this is a steep hairpin? Well, a sharp hairpin. I feel like my race line isn't bad. But I do feel like my driving is a little bit laid back to try and stay on the tarmac. Left, 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 left. That's it. This is actually quite smooth.
That's your fastest first sector
My
time.
fastest first sector time. This could be me getting the hang of this. But it's obviously not fast enough. Smooth. This is looking quite good, actually. Don't balls it up, Retro. Concentrate. There's no cars to concentrate on. And I do think that makes it more difficult if you haven't got cars in front of you, because you can't use them as a gauge. Oh, just kept that. Sharp left. We're on the home stretch now, aren't we? That wasn't a bad lap, actually. And job done. Well, it would seem that the Ford car was a little bit overpowered for me. That was definitely... It was different to drive. It was definitely easier to drive. But if you floored the accelerator with the Ford, it didn't seem to spin out or lose control. With the BMW, it absolutely did. But I did find the BMW a little bit easier to control. I think I'm going to quite enjoy this. I think this game is going to be quite a challenge. Steering wheels and pedal sets and steering wheel stands, which are nearly always vital when you get them, can be quite expensive setups. My whole setup was £500 UK and I bought it quite a while ago. But I have to say that if you're going to play a game like this, the true experience has got to be sitting down with pedals and a steering wheel. And eventually you're thinking, once you get the hang of it, then you can perhaps bring the paddles in for a bit of gear changing, or you take it one step further and bring the clutch and the gear stick in, which is going to make this phenomenally hard. I am a very casual gamer. I'm not into driving. I'm not into cars. But this is good fun, and it's something completely different, and it is this month's free Xbox game. So make sure you download it. If you're going to play it with a controller, which I do believe that generally with race games about 99% of people play them with controllers. It's the very, very few that have the luxury of having steering wheels and pedals, and it's still going to be good fun with a controller. But do you know what I like about the steering wheel? When you go into a corner, you are physically steering, you are feathering your way round, and it just feels really natural. And the steering wheel is vibrating, it's jigging around, the feedback is incredible through the steering wheel. This is going to be a nice little distraction, and I don't know how long I'm going to be off work, but I'm going to enjoy this, and we'll see how far I get. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you've downloaded this free game. I hope you enjoyed watching it and seeing my first dreadfully uncoordinated first 3 laps. And I'll look forward to your comments down below. And well, you know, this is me as a complete beginner, but if you've got any nice little beginner's tips to put down below, I am all ears. Keep safe, guys, keep gaming, and I'll see you soon. No, reverse, retro, reverse. Can you find reverse? That's it. Well done. Right on you. You go. You go. Oh, I've got a lot to learn in this game. Oh, I'm being lapped as well. I was just, where are you going? Not even on the track.